Hey everybody, welcome to the Focus channel. So today I am going to share some of the strategies and secrets that I have used throughout the years in my practice. This year is the beginning of my 29th year. We have grown just like many of you, starting out as just an associate doctor getting by, up 100 patient visits a week, 2, 3, 4, as many as 900 plus patient visits a week, 200 to 250 patients a day. And what you need to understand is we built this practice with zero marketing, absolutely no ads. When we built it, there wasn't even social media yet. So the things that I'm going to share with you are some of the strategies and some of the thought process and the philosophies that we've used all these years and continue to use to create a successful practice. And I know they work because now we have hundreds of doctors in many, many different countries using the same strategies. So here's what I want you guys to understand. I want you guys to think about something, and I'm gonna have you walk through a story with me, and I want you to visualize and picture this. And I need to say this also. Many of you that are watching this video right now are chiropractors. This is who it's geared toward. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what business you're in. It doesn't. You can be a hairstylist. You can be in any kind of business, and these principles will apply to you. So let's just say this morning you got up and you went to start your car. And today, 99% of us, we still have those cars that you push a button. You push the button and it didn't start. And there was kind of a chug, 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 and then finally your car started. But it was rough. There was a shake in it. It didn't sound right. And you had a check engine light come on. So what you're going to do is you know there's symptoms, there's something wrong. So you're going to take your car to a mechanic. And that mechanic is going to take it back and he's going to come out. Now, here's the 4 things you want to know. What's wrong with my car? Can you fix it? How long is it going to take? And what's this going to cost? I do not care who you are throughout the world. If this is the scenario that you find yourself in, these are the questions you want to know, period. But if the mechanic was to come out, I say, listen, I've spent some time with it, diagnosing this, but here's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand how the combustible engine works. Now, you have a V6. I want to teach you the difference between a V6 and a V8. I want you to know what that means. I want you to understand the car manufacturer, their history. Now we're going to go into the electronic system. We're going to talk about the computer system. This is all going to take about an hour. Matter of fact, it's probably going to take a couple of days. I'm going to have you bring your wife back tomorrow, and I'm going to go over all this with her also. See my point? I don't think any of you would sit there and go, yeah, I need to know all those things. Educate me on how all this works. No, you want to know what is wrong with it. Can you fix it? How long will it take? And what's going to cost? We all agree. So if that's the case, I want you to think about something. When a patient comes to see you, chiropractors, or a client, if anyone else, a customer, doesn't matter, guess what? They want to know the exact same things. They want to know, what's my problem? Can you help me? How long is it going to take? And what's it going to cost, doctor? And they do not want to be educated. Now, we have this ongoing running theme and philosophy sometimes in the profession that if they knew what we knew, they would do what we did. And I do not agree with that at all. Patients know that they shouldn't eat sugar every day, and they do it anyway. We have a country with an epidemic of obesity. People know that you shouldn't smoke. They do it anyway. I mean, people are educated. They already know these things. They didn't come to you with questions that they already knew the answer to. They came to you with questions and that they want the answers that they don't know. And they don't want to be educated. Now, I'm not against education. You can either do that outside of your office, you can hold training classes and teaching classes, but I'm going to give you a better example of doing micro-educating along the way, and we'll talk about that in a second. So with all that being said, here's what I want you to understand. If you want to have a very successful practice, you're going to answer those 4 questions. And the way you're going to answer them is with certainty. You're going to answer those with articulation, where you're going to be able to speak this message very simply, very easily. And I'm going to give you some ways to do that. First of all, when a patient comes in, what is my problem? Now, how are you going to determine that? right? How are you going to determine it? They come to you with specific, symptoms, headaches, neck pain, lower back pain, whatever it may be. Whatever they bring to you as, I have a problem, I'm looking for you to help me solve this problem, whatever that may be. And you're going to listen to all those things. And yes, you'll write them down and you'll ask them appropriate questions, not long-winded, just short questions to kind of guide you. Then you're going to have some form of analysis. No different than if you take your car to the mechanic, they plug it into a computer, or they're going to listen. There's all the things they do. There's got to be a sense of analysis. Now, I am a huge advocate for x-rays. I've been taking x-rays for 29 years. I learned to take x-rays in school. My uncle took x-rays for 34 years, since the 60s. The things I have found on x-rays will blow your mind, but they also lead me to understand where the problem is, where the stress in the spine is. So it doesn't matter what form of analysis you use. We have doctors all over the world that cannot take x-rays. And so there's scans, and then some people use motion palpation, orthopedic tests. It doesn't matter, whatever it may be, but you've got to have some sort of analysis in order for you to answer that question, what is my problem? And you have to believe and understand that, right? You have to know, when I do this analysis, yes, I am certain and confident that this is the problem, and you have to be able to articulate that to the patient. Okay, what's my problem? Here it is. Can you help me? The answer is 99% of the time, yes. But here's the thing, the definition of, or the explanation of, can you help me? What does that mean? Now, doctors of chiropractic, I'm going to be a little bit hard on you. But listen, if you've ever asked a patient, how do you feel past the initial consultation, you're no longer in the chiropractic paradigm, you are in the medical paradigm. Because that's what medicine asks. That's what pharmaceuticals want them to ask. How do you feel? Well, take this so you feel better. We're not in the business of getting patients to feel better. We are in the business of correction. We are in the business of locating the cause, removing the cause, and allowing the body to heal itself. That's not our responsibility, is to make them feel better. So what you have to do is, you've got to remember why you're there and why they're there. Can you help me? Yes. Yes, we can. I didn't say I was going to fix it. I didn't say I was going to correct it. I didn't say I was going to get you healthy. I didn't say I was going to get you out of pain. I can help you. If I put a specific adjustment in your spine at this area and maintain that motion, maintain that adjustment long enough, it will give your body the ability and the potential to take care of itself. That's what I mean by, yes, I can help you. What's my problem? You have stress in the spine right here. We've determined that. Can you help me? Yes, we can. All right. How long is it going to take? So I'm going to share a couple things with you that most chiropractors don't know or won't share. Or they're going to charge you, $15,000 a month to share this with you. So I want you to think about something. If you go to the gym and work out, you're putting your body into motion because you are looking to acquire or generate a physiological change. That's what you're doing. You're putting your body in motion and you want a physiological change. Yes? Okay. You will not go to the gym once a month and get that change that you're looking for. You won't even go once a week and get that change you're looking for. You're going to go to the gym. Most of us know these things. All of your patients know these things at least 3 times a week to acquire this physiological change. Yes? Okay. When you make a chiropractic adjustment, when you put motion in the spine, you are creating a physiological change. Just the same way you're putting motion in the body, the same way that you're putting motion with the body in the gym. It's the same thing. And so in order to get a physiological change in the spine, you need to put motion in that area at least 3 days a week. Okay? You can argue that all you want to, but all you're going to do is just argue with yourself to death, because I've been doing this for 29 years and I'm going to tell you this is what I found to be most appropriate. This is where I get the greatest results. Now, the next question is, okay, it's 3 times a week, but Doc, how long? Well, I want you all to think about something. If you have 10 patients in a bus wreck, and ironically enough, all 10 patients fracture their right arm, fracture their humerus in the same place. They fell over on the side, they all fell, broke their arm. Every one of those patients is going to have to wear a cast. I don't care who they are, they're going to have to wear a cast. Now, there may be a 12-year-old or maybe an 80-year-old. So the length of time they're going to wear that cast is anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. We all know that. So the average is 8. That is a healing time. What I have found within my practice and what I've done all these years is that if you will see your patients 3 times a week for approximately 8 weeks, you're going to get a great response. You're going to, as long as you maintain motion, you're specific on your adjusting, you're going to see great results. Okay. Now, one of the biggest questions I get is, how do you go from there? Well, here's the way I look at it. If you take braces off somebody's teeth, all right, you're going to have to put a retainer on. Everybody knows that. So I will tell my patients, you know, Jerry, listen, you've done great 3 times a week for 8 weeks. You've done wonderful. We're stable. But here's what I want to do. I'm gonna see you once a week, 6 or 8 visits, to make sure, just like putting a retainer on your teeth, that we don't have any setbacks. I don't want to have to start all over on this. I want to keep an eye on you. I understand. So my initial treatment plans are 32 visits or 16 weeks, 3 times a week for 8 weeks and once a week for 8 weeks. Does that vary? Yes. Age, injury, be a doctor's clinical indication, but I'm going to tell you as an average. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about the treatment plan is this. Patients will get done with their 32 visits, and you all are going to want to know, how do you maintain those wellness visits? Simple. Jerry, listen, you've done amazing. 16 weeks, and look how much healthier you are. I mean, your body has responded to this beautifully. But I'm going to ask you a question. If you was to go to the gym 3 days a week for 16 weeks, and you're healthier, you're stronger, you're in better shape, quit working out, what happens? And just let them answer. Well, you're going to lose it all. And isn't it crazy that you were going to lose it 10 times faster than you gained it? Well, Jerry, listen, what we're doing here is exactly the same thing. I do not want you to lose this, but if you quit getting adjusted, if you quit maintaining the motion of your spine, the proper motion, then life happens. Gravity, the way we sleep, getting out of a car, work, all these things are going to pile up on us, and then we're going to have some major issues. Jerry, listen, I'm going to ask you a question. When you get a cavity, when you feel that tooth hurt, do you ever wonder to yourself or ask yourself, I wonder what meal did I eat that gave me that cavity? And then stop and listen, and he's going to laugh. He goes, well, yeah, it was like all of them. That's what I'm getting at, Jerry. Days, day after day, stress after stress, and the next thing you know, you've got a cavity, you've got a back pain. I don't want it to come back. So my recommendation is, if you will come every 2 weeks, just twice a month, that is 24 visits a year. Think about this, Jerry. If we can see you and adjust you 24 times out of 365 days and maintain the motion of your spine, man, we've done something special. So you just go talk to the girls and make that happen. All right? So listen, what's my problem? We're going to figure that out. Can you help me? Yes. How long does it take? Right there. What's it going to cost? That is up to you. But I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't matter what you charge. Find value in what you do. I have doctors that I work with that charge anywhere from $40 all the way up to $100 a visit. And this is worldwide. This is 40 to 50 different countries. And it depends on your area and what you feel comfortable with. But I'm gonna recommend that you become very, very disciplined and very respectful and very consistent. If you're gonna charge Jerry $50, don't charge Mike $30 because you don't think he can afford it. It is what it is. Now, they can pay it out, but you've got to be respectful. So I'm going to give you some things to think about as we finish up this video. 1, respect their time. Several years ago, I stopped by to see a friend of mine. We were going through town, and my wife and I were going somewhere, and we stopped in to visit. And I wanted to get an adjustment, and we just dropped in. He didn't know I was going to come, and I sat out in his waiting room outside of his office at his door, and we sat there, and I sat there, and I sat there, and I sat there, and he was inside with a couple patients and talk, and there happened to be 2 other patients in front of me, an older gentleman and his wife, and I'll never forget this. As they were sitting there, you could hear him talk. The gentleman took a great big deep breath. He looked at his watch, he shook his head, he looked at his wife, and he shook his head, and I thought, right there, that's what we don't see. And so what was funny was the doctor opened the door. He saw me sitting there. His eyes got big. This couple went in, and they were in and out of that office in about 2 minutes. I started laughing. But we all get caught up on that. So listen, respect their time. And here's how you're going to do it. Here's how you're going to help with the communication and the useless talking. Before you speak, before you say anything, ask yourself this question. Why am I saying this? Why am I speaking this to a patient? Am I only saying this to be interesting, charming, interesting? Or am I saying this to be interested? If you will be disciplined and ask yourself that question before you speak, or they say something and before you respond, ask yourself, before I say this, why am I saying it? I'm going to give you a perfect example. And I'm guilty of this too, but I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. Last week, gentleman comes in, older gentleman, he said, Doc, oh, my back is killing me. He said, oh, these granddaughters, I mean, I tell you what, they're heavy, but they're worth it, but boy, they're hard on your back. Doc, do you have grandkids? I just about exploded on the inside. I've got 2 grandsons that I dearly love, and I've got a granddaughter that is literally stolen my heart. She's 6 months old. I got a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old grandson, and I almost ruptured on the inside, wanting to talk about them so much. And that would have been a 5-minute conversation. And I caught myself. Why are you saying this? Are you saying it because he's really interested, or are you saying it to try to be interesting? And I stopped and I said, yes, sir, I do have grandkids. They're wonderful. Tell you what, let's get you to lay face down so you can get back out there and enjoy those grandkids. And it was an adjustment, and they're out the door. And I thought about that, and there's so many times through the day that if you do that, you're going to look back and go, wow, I just saved myself almost an hour of useless conversation by just being disciplined. Be disciplined and be respectful of their time. Do not waste it. You think you're spending time with them in the office that's respecting them, but you're disrespecting everybody waiting on you. And not only that, the people that you're spending time with, they've got places to be, places to go. You're disrespecting them whether you believe it or not. So be very respectful of their time. Answer their questions and then move them on. Be respectful of their finances. Here's the thing. I just said it. If you charge 50, if you charge 60, if you charge 70, I don't care. Charge everybody exactly the same. Be congruent. Patrick Gentempo is one of my mentors in life and business. Patrick said, the greater the contradiction, the greater the destruction. You start getting all over the place with what people pay, and then you're going to get in trouble, because then your practice is going to come back and beat up on you, okay? And then the last thing I want to tell you guys is this. I went through a lot of the things in here that we implement, if you will just take this short video and write some of these things down and actually implement them, your practice will grow. I promise you it's going to grow. It's going to grow because you're going to be more focused on the attention of what you're doing. You're going to say less words. You're going to have more energy. So you have more energy. You're not going to waste as much time. So those patients that are used to coming to see you, they're like, I need an adjustment, but I don't have time. He talks too much. Now they're going to start dropping in. I had 72 walk-ins one day. Just walked in off the street. Didn't have an appointment, didn't call, just walked in to get an adjustment. 72 in one day. That was possible because of these principles, all right? Here's what I want to leave you with. In this focus group that we've created, we have a very simple philosophy. Tell the truth, deliver on that truth. Now, this is what we teach, coach, practice, help you walk through, is your truth. Your certainty, I call it pathological certainty in who you are, what do you do, and why do you do it. Now listen, if you would like help with that, that's why I'm here. I shared this with you because I care about you. I want you to spread it. I want you to share this video. I want you to tell people to come see it. If you're a chiropractor, I promise you this video will grow your practice and increase your income. It can't not work. If you're in any business, these principles will work. But if you want more, if you truly want more, I think our average chiropractor this last year, not the average, but many grew by $200,000+ a year. Some even more. We had doctors that collected $700,000, that collected 1.4. But even that, we've got doctors that were seeing 40 a week that are now seeing 90 to 100 a week. So it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is show you in video format how you can implement these things I'm talking about. And I'm telling you it works, but listen, don't take my word for it. Don't just listen to me. I'll show you. We have videos that I'm in the office, hidden camera, patients all sign a waiver, hidden camera, where you can listen to me. You can see me, you can actually watch me see 44 patients and deliver a report of findings to a patient in the first hour. And if you're really crazy, you want to sit there for 3 hours, you can watch me see 112 in 3 hours. Now, it sounds crazy, but if you sit and watch it, I can show you, then if you can see me do it, then you can do it. So if you need me, if you need help, this is where we're at. I found this years ago. I wrote this down. Focus isn't just something we do. It's a place that you can go. I'm here if you need anything. Like I always said, reach out if I can do anything to help you. You all have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.